This Side Hustle podcast preview is being brought to you by GNV Commercial Advisors at Collier's Gainesville. Have you noticed those blue Collier signs all over Gainesville? Those are the signs of progress. The GNV Commercial Advisory team of Collier's Gainesville is the region's top commercial real estate team. When you need to buy or sell commercial land or buildings, find a new space for your business, or lease out a property you own, turn to the GNV Commercial Advisory team. They close more than 60 deals a year. Shouldn't yours be one of them? Check out all their services at colliers.com/Gainesville. You guys, on Monday, we're bringing you an amazing episode with John Fleming and Phil Wagner of Trimark Properties. Guys, did you have a good time tonight?
We did.
Great time.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I'm so excited that you guys were here. What was there a particular part of our discussion that really stood out?
I'm just amazed that he can do this, man. It's like, spits that out.
Probably
man.
your energy.
That's the most amazing part.
I'm trying to figure out how I can get a little of that. So.
let it bleed off.
Yeah,
Let it bleed off.
yeah.
Well, podcast fam, it was a fantastic episode. Here is a little preview of what you have to look forward to. How many properties do you guys have now?
I have no idea. I don't know. Yeah, man. Dude, that's a chest beating exercise, right? That's like, oh, I have 1,000 units. Who cares, man? We don't have any empty. That's what I care about. Right?
Okay.
So as long as on the residential side, on the commercial side, we have a few because we're just kind of getting into that now, hard and heavy. But on the residential side, we're good.
How many walls have you painted in your life?
Oh my God. Interior,
With some
exterior.
stuff that probably burns some brain cells up.
Yeah.
Do you still ever pick up a brush and paint a wall once in a while?
I do. I actually have. I patched some cracks and some plaster this weekend, and I've got to go home sometime this weekend and paint a few walls.
Yeah. Oh man.
I painted last night.
Did you?
Yeah. Painted a deck at my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we had Reed Fogler on the show.
Yeah, I saw.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, we did see it. So I have to
He
say,
had great things to say about you guys.
oh,
but,
no,
like,
Reed's great, man. I will say, Reed remembers like us, and his wife remembers a little different. I'd go with the wife, man. I think. I
yeah.
think she
Oh,
remembers
okay.
a
So
little better.
his story wasn't quite
it's
accurate
Reed's
from
story. He's a great
Reed's
storyteller.
version,
He's
yeah.
a great storyteller.
That's great. Let's talk about Gainesville, because you guys are really a company who is very invested into the community, obviously. What's Gainesville's biggest challenge in your opinion right now?
What's our biggest challenge? Getting
Growth management, I would guess.
Yeah. Getting everybody to. For me, I deal with the city a lot. All of our properties are in the city, real close to the university. I think right now it's just a lack of focus. I mean, it's just there's so many. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it seems like everybody's got their own issue, and there's just so many out there that you can never really dive into them deep and fix something.
Yeah.
Right? So
it's like everybody's priorities are different.
everybody's
so it's
priorities are
like-
different. Yeah. It's
So
just
how
tough.
would you prioritize the issues or the challenges? Is there anything that would be at the top of your list?
Yeah, for us, because we're developers, there'd be a lot of things on the top of the list, but it doesn't mean it's the right thing on top of the list. I have no idea what the top priority should be in the city of Gainesville at the moment, other than for us, it's it's been the same for a long time. Is how do we connect the front door of University of Florida to downtown? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where we focus. So
Well, that corridor is like
getting better.
Yeah,
Getting
it's looking
better.
really, really awesome.
Yeah,
You guys just
yeah.
put that food park over there.
Yeah, Midpoint's up and running.
Yeah,
and
which
it's
looks
doing really
great.
well. Thank you.
How's it
thank
doing
you.
so far?
Doing awesome. Doing awesome. You had lunch there today, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. So we have. I went down there Friday and had lunch with one of our landscape architects, and I think maybe 3/4 of the people there were our employees. So, and of various companies. So it was pretty cool.
What's the one thing that like gets under your skin about the community? Whether it's from a city standpoint or, I mean, maybe just some of those issues. Because I don't know if you were there when I gave this talk, but like one of the things that we had a big problem with early on was like our zoning.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, I was like, dude, like I kept, I want to say it was like 2013. I stood up in front of the mayor and the city commission. I gave this like this passionate speech, Did
you get it?
Put on by the Chamber of Commerce. What's that?
Did you get what you needed?
It was really, I felt like it was really just bringing awareness to some of the issues, because one of the things I was very passionately talking about, I was like, look, businesses like mine are going to pick up and leave.
Right.
Like, because I can go somewhere else and not have to deal with these issues.
Yeah, I agree.
And a lot of it has zoning. And the point that I was really making at that time was there was that like Advanced Auto Parts next to the cash and carry over there on like 34th and 20th, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how is that any different than what we're doing? You know, because they wanted us to be zoned business automotive.
Right.
And like a lot of the zoning has changed. I want to give credit where credit's due. Like it has evolved and it has changed and that's great. But, you know, we're business automotive. So I'm like, well, you know, we really don't have a need for a 10,000 square foot building with 500 parking spaces because I'm not selling cars. I'm selling scooters. And I wanted to be in like a retail strip center. Sure. You know, it's like there's no fuel in them when they're sitting in the showroom. It's got a little bit of oil, but it's all sealed, you know? And my point very much was like, well, Advanced Auto Parts will allow you to bring your oil,
used oil,
from where you did the oil change at your house to them. They'll go out to the parking lot and change your battery.
I've watched people drop gas tanks in their parking lot, right?
You know, so like that was really like the point that I was making at that time, and I am glad that a lot of it has changed and evolved. And luckily, this was grandfathered in as business automotive when we took over. So like, you know, that worked out perfectly for us. But you know, is there anything like that's just been kind of like that needle in the side for you guys?
I think you know, for me, it's just the time it takes. I remember it, much like you, right? The first time I went to a first step meeting, which is kind of where you start for a development, scared the hell out of me, man. I mean, they're coming at me with all these rules and regulations, and I hadn't done any of that, so it was quite intimidating. I'll say it gets better, and now we can go in and run them basically because we know a lot of the code and have dealt with it through the years. But some years ago, the city really worked on their customer service front. And I think maybe it was probably one of the best things the city had done because somebody coming in and asking for something, right? I want to do a car wash here. I want to put a medical office there. I want to open this restaurant. A lot of times back in the day, they were met with regulators, right? People it was almost easier to say no than it was to say, let's see how we can do this. Right. That changed a lot in 07, 08, 09. Even past that because of, you know, we went through that big recession and everybody had to kind of get on board and it was really nice. And we still see, while we've come back out of that, we still see remnants of that with some of the city folk and city in general, right? That may be Public Works, it may be GRU, whoever we're dealing with, but that leftover customer service has been good. And through the years, I mean, we know all these people, right? So now, you know, 20 some odd years later, I mean, he and I played basketball with half of them. So, you know, now we don't play basketball anymore. So,
who wins, you guys or them?
Yeah, we don't play. They would win. I don't know if any of us could actually get on the court anymore. But it's just, if we could figure out how to make everything a little more customer friendly, right? And it doesn't mean you say yes to everything because some things aren't appropriate, right? And certain things, but if it makes sense, let's figure out how to do it. And that's a lot of times that's what we end up doing. I mean, it's a Midpoint Park's a great one. That's not allowed by code. It wasn't. You know, we had to go before the city and say, hey, this is what we want to do. It was a great idea. It just isn't allowed by the code. So now they've got to, and it takes time. They've got to fix it.
How much time did it take?
That probably took 6 months or so. It was pretty quick. I mean, they wanted it. It was a great idea. All the city commissioners behind it, so it helped.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about, like, I don't know. It's funny when, you know, I see just some of the conversations that are happening, specifically like on social media and this kind of thing, where it's like, oh, you know, Gainesville's starting to lose its charm because, you know, the high-rise buildings and now, you know, knocking down the swamp restaurant, which I want to talk about the replica in a second, right? But like, you know, the swamp restaurant and the charm and the character and these words that were really being used to describe Gainesville, and obviously, like, you know, there's these big, you know, high rises coming into these spaces now. I mean, like, what do you say to those people? Like, or what's your thoughts? Like, do you agree that, you know, it is causing Gainesville to lose some of its charm, and so that's why, you know, you want to make a replica like the swamp restaurant? Like, what is your perspective on those things?
I think we would say
There you go, podcast fam. Be sure to check out the complete episode when it releases Monday at 8 a.m. And do me a huge favor, share it with somebody, leave us a review, send me an email at colin@whoagnv.com. Let me know what you think. We love you. We appreciate you. Enjoy your week. We'll see you later.